Hello, how are you all? Just me coming to pester you again and share a few wee reflections. Um, do you know what? See, sorry, before I do that, I don't know why I feel when I say I'm going to share some of my reflections. I feel like Ricky Fulton out of, oh my goodness, what was the programme called? I can't remember, but it was Reverend I Am Jolly. Anyway, I digress, right? Sorry, totally ignore that, right? Um, yeah, my reflections. I tend to try and make sense of this complex society that we live in by putting my words in paper, and they generally come out in the form of some sort of poem. And this one that I want to share today is called Nourish to Flourish. And the reason for it is I've been at a few events lately, and people, some incredibly brave individuals, have been sharing their stories of grief, loss, change, recovery, rediscovery, personal growth. And when people are sharing their stories, I think it's really important that we as individuals and organisations, community groups, all of the people that work in this field, that we are really, really mindful that often when people are sharing their personal story, they're not just connecting with the words, they're connecting with the feelings. In some ways, and again, I'm not speaking for everybody. Some people can share their story and it maybe doesn't affect them, but I would suggest that most people, in some sort of way, it takes them back, good and bad, to see how much they've overcome, but also it can you can reconnect with the pain. And I guess what I'm just saying is that people need time to salve those wounds again, because those wounds do reopen, because arguably the healing process suggests that everything heals, or that there's a beginning, a middle and an end. And I would argue that some wounds never heal, because they're so deep. Some losses in life, some experiences in life shape you forever. It doesn't mean that you can't live a fulfilled life, but I think it's really important that remembering, rather than just sticking plasters over and walk it off, give yourself a shake, all these sort of pointless and useless sayings suggest that, right, thanks for that, you shared your story, right, okay, thanks, have a good day. It's important that we as individuals salve our feelings when and the wounds when they reopen, but we also have a duty of care to make sure that people are okay when they are sharing their stories. Check in, make sure that it is something that they're definitely ready to do and they're okay sharing it. And I think people, in the words of Brene Brown, showing up and being seen and owning their story and having the courage to be vulnerable, that story can connect with so many. And I've been influenced and inspired by some tragic but courageous and brave stories in my lifetime. And I guess all I'm wanting to really try and say when I go round the houses about it is that we need to be mindful that wounds can reopen, and that we need to work together to make sure that people's wounds are nourished. Because just like, I suppose, we nourish soil for growth, and we nourish our bodies with healthy food and water. Well, I don't always, but anyway, but it's about nourishing to flourish. So that's what I called the poem Nourish to Flourish. I'm going to read that and then leave you in peace. Let me know your own reflections on this. Have you shared your story and been supported? Have you been unsupported? What does that feel like? Has sharing your story later down the line triggered those connections back to the pain? Did you salve your wounds, or did you shake it off? Please share your thoughts and reflections, because the discussion part is how we learn from each other. So, all the spectacles on. Nourish to flourish. countless quotes about the process of healing by simply confronting the emotions we are feeling, and accurately suggest that everything can heal, which in theory sounds great, even ideal. But how can your mind, soul, and body repair from endless trauma, grief, and utter despair? You cannot merely plaster over the cracks and polish them off with some turtle wax. Many arise from incidents unspoken and can leave people forever feeling broken. But these broken pieces are part of you, and they are how the love and the light shine through. In an ideal world, they would just wash away. Our whole being could heal without delay. But sadly, life doesn't work that way. Lots of our scars are here to stay. So don't be ashamed by what they hide. Own them with a sense of pride. They symbolise inconceivable strength, that you survived at any length. And when your wounds pay another visit, stop, breathe, and take a minute to salve your wounds as they start reopening, and commend yourself for continually coping. Nourish to flourish. We need so much more nourishment for our hearts, souls, and minds. That's how growth happens. So, thank you for your time, and take care. Bye bye.